Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me. My email is still tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It is still in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any of our platforms. I am tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing a spectacular and very rare model launched by Debethune in 2012. This is the DB28 Tourbillon Deadbeat. Behold. It is a tourbillon. It has a deadbeat second, and due to the floating lugs, it is definitely a DB28. So, what you're getting is one of the most compact and exacting timekeepers you will ever experience on the wrist. Now, you may say 45 millimeters in diameter is large, not when you consider how many features are inside of this case. In grade 5 tie, it is 45 in diameter, but it's 12.6 thick, and it's got variable geometry lugs. So we've got a combination of a span of 53.2 when they are compressed maximally, or 58 across the wrist when they expand to their full extent. There is a 26 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Now I'm going to throw this watch on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and you can see that the watch fits actually a pretty good fit. In fact, you can see how the lugs contour to your wrist. They will do all of the work. And it is a fairly thin watch, though sheer in profile and apparently thick to the eye. It is in fact quite slim, being only about as thick as a Rolex GMT Master 2 overall, and very, very light, all in grade 5 titanium and sapphire. Let's take a look down the barrel, the cuff shot, one over the top. Now, an important thing to remember about grade 5 titanium is that, like grade 2, it's hypoallergenic and it's lighter than steel, but unlike grade 2, it's also more scratch resistant than steel. We have a wonderful little composite strap here, which you can see is a combination of different elements. All of this is rubber on the bottom, and then on the top, an embossed textile. So you can see 100% non-leather, great for people who have allergies or moral qualms about alligator and calfskin. Debethune via Jean Rousseau, which makes the OEM straps for Debethune, but also for FP Journe. They are the go-to for the haute de gamme where straps are concerned. And it is blue, which is a signature color for Debethune. Taking a quick look, the buckle, as with all Debethune buckles, is designed to match the style of the watch. So you can see those open, airy, prismatic lugs, and then you can see the same evacuated profile in miniature on the buckle. Now, these little ogival bullet-style tips are the last remnants of the original Debethune watch, the DB1 chronograph of 2002. They are here just little accents on the ends of lugs that are broad and arcing. And of course, there are several different lug sizes at Debethune, and they can be updated when the watch goes back for service. So if you think this is a little bit large, keep in mind it's not set in stone. We have a crown here that has a wonderful double knurling. It is a bullhead winder, and it's got a screw-down action. Though the watch is just 30 meters water resistant, it's not a diver. The screw-down action better helps to protect the crown, including against inadvertent contact with the lugs. Now, here's a feature you don't commonly see on Debethune watches. Take note, hacking seconds. A truly impressive feature in combination with a tourbillon of extraordinary accuracy. At Debethune, tourbillon watches have to have a chronometric advantage over standard escapements, and thus they're generally regulated to about plus 1/3 of a second gained per day. And in that context, having the deadbeat second with a stop works makes a lot of sense. So you have hacking action and central seconds. And this is one of very few Debethune watches that has both of those features. Debethune makes its cases, its dials, and its movements. So though it only constructs a little over 300 watches a year, it has the means of production in-house, so it can build only a few dozen or even under a dozen examples of a reference per year without having to beg a supplier to go low volume. And of course, controlling the process means quality is assured. Now, moving inside, you can see that this watch features what the caseback describes as twin gold wheels and a double lever with jumping seconds. So what we're actually talking about is the secondary bridge at center, where you can see there are two coaxial 14-karat rose gold wheels. Now, 14 karat is a good mechanical grade because it's harder than 18 karat. So in general, when you see running gear made of gold, it's going to be 14 karat. And you can also see there is that second locking lever that acts as a escapement for the Deadbeat system. The watch has 2 heartbeats, 1 hertz for the Deadbeat and then 36,000 vibrations per hour, or 5 hertz, 10 beats per second for the Tourbillon. The Tourbillon is the world's lightest, being constructed of silicon, titanium, and white gold. It has a mass of only 18 hundredths of a gram. Now you can see it moves at twice the speed of a standard tourbillon, 1 circuit every 30 seconds. It features a proprietary titanium and white gold balance that reduces the impact of both aerodynamics and temperature change on timing. It also maximizes the mass in the rim. We have debethune's patented twin-element hairspring. 1 hairspring cut to 2 pieces, shaped by hand, and then clamped back together, so it breathes concentrically like an overcoil. It's flat and shock resistant like a flat hairspring. It gives you the best of both. And then finally, you see the company's proprietary silicon escape wheel, which endows the watch with a very low friction action in its escapement on board the tourbillon carriage. The wheel itself, which is mounted on a bridge, both of those pieces in blue are fired blue titanium using a technique Debethune has developed to blue titanium, which you can see utilized across the face of this watch. There's also a mirror underneath the tourbillon to better reflect light and illuminate the structure for your admiration. At the base of the dial, there's a power reserve indicator that turns from red to silver as you manually wind the watch. And the watch has 4 days of power reserve via twin mainspring barrels in series. They are self-adjusting. This is patented, and so you cannot accidentally overwind them. The mainspring in one barrel will slip, as in an automatic watch, to prevent you from overwinding. And because of the action in series, you get a very even, flat torque curve from maximum wind to minimum wind to maintain regularity on the regulator. It beats away, again, at 10 beats per second, like a Zenith El Primero. And then we have a series of hand-finished structures as the escapement, the balance, the tourbillon, the barrels, and the barrel bridge are all on the dial side. You can see we have a steel cap on top of the barrel bridge. It has been fully black polished. Beneath that, we have Côte de Bethune, which are stripes laid out using an abrasive wheel run in straight lines over the surface. Take note, the barrels feature elaborate solarization. We have beveling within the jewel sinks, black polishing on screw heads. And then if you look carefully at the bridge for the Deadbeat, you can see it's been satinated on its top and then beveled internally and externally. We also have polished 14-karat gold escape wheels. The finish on this watch is fine as any you'll see on the likes of a Grubel 4C or an MB&F. This is quite extraordinary stuff. And again, very, very low volume, as in all likelihood, fewer than 24 examples of this reference have been made since 2012. If you love this watch, reach out. I am Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.